Did you know that 15% of home sales fall through? In other words, homes that are under contract, a buyer and a seller have agreed on a price and terms that they don't complete, that a home actually doesn't get sold. Well, why is this? If you were selling your home and there was one simple step that you could do to make sure that your home got to the finish line and you got paid, if there was just one simple step for that, wouldn't you want to know what it was? Well, you may or may not know this, but there's a lot that goes into the home sale process from the time you sign the contract to the time you actually get to the closing table. And there can be a lot of bumps along the way, but there's one main one that is the reason that a lot of home sales fall through. But don't worry, it's usually completely avoidable. And I've got some information that will help you avoid this roadblock. So, what is this one thing that is causing deals to fall through? You want to guess? You probably guessed the home inspection. And if you guessed that, you would be correct. So, roughly 1 out of 7 deals doesn't make it to the closing table. But on a positive note, 6 out of 7 deals do make it to the closing table. And you want to make sure you're one of those 6 out of 7. Here's where having a great agent and a little prep can make all the difference. So what can you do to avoid the problem with the home inspection and repairs? Well, you may or may not know, but buyers are already stretched thin. Mortgage rates are high. Home sales are at an absolute all-time high. They have never been this high. Home sale prices have never been this high. So buyers are already spending enough, and they just don't want to move into a house that when they get there, they're going to have to do a lot of work or any work at all because they have actually probably maxed out their budget just with what their house payment is going to be. So you want to make sure that your home is as move-in ready as you can possibly get it. Also, something else I'm not sure if you're aware of, but is that we are in most areas of Florida, we are in a buyer's market. And so that means that home buyers have many more homes to choose from than they have had in over 5 years. So if your house doesn't measure up to their requirements, they'll just go to another house. And there could even be another house that came on the market after yours went under contract that they would rather have. So just be very careful. Don't give buyers any reason. If you need to sell your home, don't give them any reason to not want to pick your home. And needing to do repairs will definitely be a problem that buyers don't want to deal with. So how do you keep this from happening? Well, the best thing you can do is get a pre-listing inspection from a certified home inspector and get them to come in and find everything just like they would if they were doing the inspection for the buyer. It costs a couple $100s, but it'll be well worth it in the long run, because if you get under contract and then the inspector comes in, finds things wrong with the house that you need to have taken care of, your buyer could get cold feet and completely back out, or at the very least, it could slow things down. And you may end up having to pay more money on the back end than you would have had to pay for